Okay guys, so let's go ahead and do our first coding session today. We're going to make a ticket classifier using LangChain that essentially classifies our tickets into 4 different narratives and categories. You're going to find the 0.2 ticket classifier.py file in the courses material. You will also need the underscored shell folder that has an environment example. It has an LLM provider.py. It has a README with instructions and the bootstrap. So you will need that as well. So let's begin first of all by also mentioning that along with these courses, you get beautiful lecture PDFs that guide you and give you more details in all of the things we discuss in each lecture. So this is very helpful, and you can use this to begin with the Python and virtual environment setup. So run these commands on your terminal to set up the environment, then do pip install to install LangChain and the dependencies we need. And then you want to create a .env file in your project root directory. All right, so let me talk a little bit about setting up the API keys and the .environment file. So the .environment file looks a little bit like that. First of all, you need to select an API provider. I have tested it with OpenAI and also the Minimax LLM provider. So the options are very obvious. If you use the OpenAI provider, you will need to set OpenAI as LLM provider. You need to set your API key here and the OpenAI model. The shared folder, specifically the LLM provider.py, will automatically read this file and set everything up for you. You don't need to do anything else. Of course, you can go in it and take whatever code you want. Just make sure to check it out. I also made sure that it will work with Minimax, which is my preference as a model because it's very cheap to use. It's also super capable. I think Minimax is an amazing company in terms of providing cheap and intelligent AI. So I've set also this up for you just in case you would like to use that. So everything is set up for you. Just make the .env file. Also adding observability equals to true is okay. And you can literally just go ahead and copy this. So just copy the .env.example, copy it, and just rename it to .env in the root directory of your folder, essentially in the same folder that the ticket classifier is, okay? So it's simple as that. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill in the ticket classifier right now. And in your case, it's going to be called starter. And if you want to jump into the solution, you can watch the ticket classifier.py in the solution folder. It has all of the code you need to run everything. So let's begin. Let's begin, guys. So let's open up the file that you will have to fill in. We're going to do it together. You can, of course, pause the video and try it on your own, or just watch the solution and go over it with me. So I'm not going to waste any time explaining what is the shared folder path. It just loads the dependencies. We load the get chat model that is a wrapper I created for you so you can very fast set up the providers without wasting any time. So what we need to do now is the ticket classification. This is the pedantic structured output that we expect from the model. So as we've seen in the curriculum, we want 4 different fields. We want the category, the priority, the sentiment, and whether it requires human review or not. So already we can say AI is doing a suggestion for us. It says, for example, category with string field, priority, sentiment requires human. And I would highly encourage you that you go ahead and work with AI while you solve these kind of tasks. Even on the setup side of things, try to learn to work with AI. Yes, you will not do everything by hand, but you are going to do a lot more things and learn to work with AI. So I'm going to press the tab button. So AI already pre-fills some of these. Then what we're going to do, we're going to say equals field. And what I want to explain here is that this field section allows us to set up a description of what we expect Pydantic to fill for this kind of category, for this kind of variable. Of course, you will have to import it from Pydantic. So go here and do comma field, all right? So this is a small trick just for you guys. So here on the description, we want to set what we expect the description to be. So it can be billing, the ticket can be technical, it can be account shipping, or a general thing. I'm just going to use AI for that. I'm totally fine with it, and this is a sensible result. You can put whatever you want here. The ticket system is all up to how you want to design it, how you want to make it. There is no correct answer at this point. Even those fields, you can pre-fill them however you want. You may want only category. It doesn't really matter. You got to understand, you make the agent, you make the choices, you make the output, you make the input. It's all up to what you want to track. So for priority, I'm going to set a description. So I'm going to say to the LLM, for priority, I expect you to fill in how urgent the ticket is. Select one of these three options. All right. Then we go to settle sentiment. So what is the tone of the client? So in this case, there are three options. It can be positive, neutral, negative, or angry. All right. So this is actually four options. And then on require human, it's a Boolean field. It's a yes or no. True if the token should be associated to a human agent. I like this. This is a good suggestion. Well done, AI. So as we can see easily here with AI, we pre-filled those four fields that give to the description of what we expect the output to be. What do we expect each of these values to have inside them? What is their use case and how it should populate it? So the classification is ready. It's ready for use. And now we need to go ahead and build the classifier. So how do we build a classifier? First, we need to initialize the model. All right, so we need to do model initialization. So we are going to say model equals. And I've created this get chat model just for you guys so you can easily use it. And you don't need to pass any parameters because if you set up the environment key correctly, it is going to read the LLM provider, it's going to read the OpenAI key and the OpenAI model. So if you set this correctly, you're good to go. Because the LLM provider.py that I created for you has this get chat model that goes ahead and does all of the checks for you. Let's give it a look. So the get chat model is here. And it shows you that if the provider is Minimax on the environment file, or if it is OpenAI, it calls one of these two functions to build the correct module with the correct settings. And it calls the chat OpenAI, which is the base functionality for OpenAI APIs, or in our case, it goes to build Minimax, which is a little bit more complicated because Minimax is not natively supported across all of things in LangChain. So I've created some more wrappers to give you the structured output you want without any issues. So I've done this to save you a lot of time and boom, this should work for you. So we get the chat model. Essentially, this is the LLM. Now what we need to do is connect the LLM with the structured output using the ticket classification as our preferred output. And we're going to save it into a classifier variable. And what we're going to do is we're going to return the bound classifier. Bound classifier means that the classifier is bound with a structured output that we have defined over here, which is the ticket classification. So now we can go ahead and parse all of these test tickets. It's just a list of tickets, and the main file just goes over each one of them, builds a classifier and applies it over here. So what we need to do is we have to call the invoke. So how can we do that, guys? We go here and we say classifier.invoke, and what we pass here is each ticket. All right, so that's what we need to do. And this will give us a result, and I've added a formatter for the result that looks like that. You can turn it into a function or whatever, but the idea is that we want to access each of these fields of the result one by one. In the ticket classifier, I actually built this format that is callable again, but doesn't really matter at this point. So what we want to do after that is we're going to go ahead and run the ticket classifier. So we do Python ticket classifier live. In my case, you should put the name of the file you got on your system. So we run, we see that the provider is OpenAI, we see the first ticket, we see its priority, we see the sentiment, we see the technical need, and we see if it needs human or not. So boom, you can see everything here. And yeah, even the very small GPT-4o mini, which is a 2-year-old model, very small model, very cheap model, works perfectly. So yeah, we just made sure that our agent is connected with ChatGPT Minimax and can run this sentiment analysis with structured output, simple enough with just 4 lines of code. In this file, it classifies each one of these tickets. So the question everyone has right now is, okay, Airo, I understand. Okay, explain to me, how can I get an API key? So first of all, if you're on Minimax, you can go ahead and make an account on minimax.io. And you can go on API and token plan, and you can see the API pricing. Very aggressive, very nice pricing. Click on console on the top right side, go to API usage to see your usages, and then go to access, create new API key, and copy the API key. You want to put that in your .environment variable. So here is my Minimax API key. I also have set the model and the Minimax base URL. Just for your helpfulness, I've made everything here ready for you. So if you want to use Minimax M3, you just remove this dash on these 4 lines, paste your API key here on the .environment file, and you're good to go. If you want to use OpenAPI key, you will have to use the provider as OpenAI. You can set the model here, and we need to get an OpenAI API key. So you need to go to openai.com/API, and you want to go on login on the top right side corner, API platform. After you do that, you will have to, of course, top up credits, then click on the left side API keys and create a new secret key. And you're going to get an API key, which you can use for your use cases, for your examples, for the whole course, and you just put it here, okay? So it's as simple as that. If you get stuck at any point, ask AI to help you. I also set up a lot of things with AI just to save time. It knows exactly what to do, especially if you give it this README as context. It's gonna be able to help you and set everything up for you. So make sure to always use AI. I think it's a real enabler of real world. It's the pinnacle of AI agents. So always make sure to tap into the capabilities of AI. It's going to make you so much better. It's going to unlock so many of your skills, and it's going to speed up the whole workflow for you. So you've seen how simple it is to use LangChain and start classifying input from users into different categories that you want. You could, for example, go ahead and log all of these values into a database and then run some kind of review of customer service afterwards, which is amazing. There are so many capabilities in just this simple use case of the ticket classification. So hopefully you understood today's lesson. I think it's very simple, especially if you watch the theoretical fundamentals. It's straight up just turning those fundamentals into actual code and getting structured output from the models. What I would suggest that you do is that you watch the lecture tour theory, so you dive deeper into each topic. I would also highly suggest that you go ahead, Control-C those functions, search on the LangChain documentation and on the code base where we use each one. For example, here we have the init chat that we use in many cases. You can see it on a lot of different places. I think it's going to be very helpful for you to also see the providers here. You could get a lot of learnings on how to set up everything in your own use case. So here, for example, we filter for the OpenAI model, we resolve the temperature from the environment, we log the usage of the provider so we get a small message when we begin running the code. And yeah, I think this is a very helpful lesson, and this code will be very helpful to you. I'm quite sure about that. So make sure to give it a look and use it on your own projects. You are free to use it, of course, if it helps you. So hopefully you understood everything. Hope you're ready for the next lecture, and let's get started.